If the US gets its way here, that could put the death penalty on the table for any journalist that reports on government leaks. Julian Assange is the founder of WikiLeaks, and they are currently in trial about whether or not he's going to get extradited back to the US to face treason charges. And although they're not talking about it openly right now, treason puts death penalties on the table as an option. But they're not going after Julian Assange because he stole any information or he leaked anything classified. They're going after him because he published things that other people leaked. But charging the publisher with treason is akin to charging the New York Times with treason if they publish anything about anything leaked from the government. And sure, the government claims it's national security, but they're not trying to keep you from knowing these things for national security. They're trying to keep you from knowing these things because they don't want you to know that they're doing them. Like the Pentagon Papers back in the 70s that exposed that huge amounts of the Vietnam War were lies. And a lot of the reasons why we were there are not what they were telling the people. Or Edward Snowden's leaks that taught us all that, hey, the government is spying on everything you do in super illegal ways. If you're not familiar with WikiLeaks, you should really go check out this Wikipedia page that briefly summarizes all the different things they've published over the years. Because a lot of these leaks they've tried to cover up in the media and report on as little as possible. And so you might be surprised by what you find in here. As just one recent example from 2019, you know how you've heard in the news about this country Syria run by this really evil man, Bashar al-Assad, who allegedly used chemical weapons on his own people inside of the civil war here? Well, it turns out that inside of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, which was the organization that investigated the claims that he had used chemical weapons on his own people, turns out there was a whole bunch of dissent within that organization of investigators that didn't think he had used them. And their information all got heavily suppressed, and the reports that came out favored the opinion that he had used chemical weapons on his own people. I'm not claiming one way or the other. I'm just saying that it turns out we were lied to about the consensus about that. And then when you pair that information with the fact that the CIA has been funding rebels trying to overthrow al-Assad's regime for almost a decade now, spending a lot of money trying to get this guy out of there, just like we've done to every other country in the Middle East that isn't run by a pro-American dictator. This court case matters to all of us because we all know that the government lies all the time about what they're doing. And the only way we ever find out what they're actually doing is when good people inside of the government with access to information leak it out to us. And yes, that is illegal, and they do get prosecuted when they get caught. That's why Edward Snowden lives in Russia now. But prosecuting Julian Assange for publishing that information is no different than prosecuting a newspaper for publishing that information. It's no different than me showing you that information in this screen. For example, we're committing treason by showing you this email because this email was leaked and now we are publishing it. So TikTok is publishing it and Apple's publishing it on their phone and I'm publishing it. You better not look at it or you'll be publishing it too. I mean, why wouldn't they want you to know about this email between these two people in the Hillary Clinton campaign where they said, I think Obama spent about $65,000 of the taxpayers' money flying in pizza/dogs from Chicago for a private party at the White House not long ago. Assume we are using the same channels? ? What the fuck does that mean? Why do you fly pizza and hot dogs across the country for a party? And how do you spend $65,000 doing it? Because I mean, they wrote the emails. I'm just reading them. And that's a pretty fucking weird thing to say in an email. Sounds like a national security concern to me. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. They've already persecuted Julian Assange for like 10 years for doing exactly what every news agency all around the world does, which is publish information from a source. If the US government gets its way and criminalizes the publishing of information, then journalism is dead. Free speech is dead. And we all know that once the government takes the power away, they don't give it back. And they are counting on you not paying attention while they do it.